Hi everybody, welcome back to the community table. I'm Chef Tim.
And I'm Kayla, dietitian.
We are making some great holiday-inspired foods today.
Yes, and different tips and tricks on how to reduce our stress around the holiday season, because it's a pretty stressful time of the year.
Yeah, you know, we come around the holidays, we come around food, we bring everybody together with food, so, you know, there's just a lot to do during that time. So if there's any ways that we can make food ahead of time, maybe the day or two ahead, let's take advantage of that.
Let's do it. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started, because we got a lot to do today, you guys.
All right, Kayla, so for our first recipe, we're gonna make a cranberry sauce.
Nice, I love cranberry sauce.
Now, this is a super simple recipe that we can make from scratch, and it doesn't take a lot of ingredients.
Yeah, I can see that. We only have a couple of things that we're gonna add in here, and this is something that we can make ahead of time. So we talked about reducing stress at the beginning of this video. We can prep this the day before, so we have less things to do on the day of.
Yeah. And I love the cranberry sauce too, because you can add in like all kinds of different things. So maybe you want to add in some apples or ginger, oranges, you know, really like use your creative palette.
I like it.
Yeah, to make these changes. So we're gonna do ours today. We got some cinnamon, some cloves. We're gonna add in some pineapple too, and some orange also.
I love this, so high in vitamin C. I think you can also use different types of sugar in this recipe as well. We're gonna use typical refined sugar, but you can also do things like agave syrup or pure maple syrup, different ways to like lower that glycemic index for sure. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, the first step.
All right, so the first step with the cranberry sauce is we're gonna juice half of the orange. Then we're gonna go ahead and take some cloves, kind of push 5 or 6 cloves into the orange. After that, we'll put the cinnamon stick, add the sugar, the water, and bring that up to a boil, and then reduce down to a simmer.
And also keep in mind, you guys, if you don't have cloves, don't feel like you need to use them in this recipe. You can definitely just use like ground cinnamon or the cinnamon sticks that we'll be using. So we're on to our next recipe. We are making a green bean casserole.
Yeah. Now, what I love about this green bean casserole is that it uses lots of whole ingredients.
I agree.
Yeah, so we're gonna use whole mushrooms, green beans, some cheese, dice up a little bit of bacon, mix it all together. We're gonna make a roux also. So we're gonna like a thickened sauce with some heavy cream.
Okay.
And it gets baked in the oven. So this could also be done days in advance. It doesn't have to be on the day of your holiday party, right?
So we're getting basically everything all ready to go and then just pop it into the oven the next day.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome. Let's get started.
Let's do it. So the first thing I'm gonna do is dust off my mushrooms.
Yeah.
I think there's a really big misconception that, you know, you wanna rinse them under the water, but if you just use a rag and like wipe all the dirt off, I think that kind of keeps it together a little bit more.
I'm gonna go ahead and get started and clean up these green beans. So I just wanna snip the ends on both sides. Now, this is a great activity that you could get your kids involved with.
Both of these things.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
So do you want me to slice these?
Yeah, let's slice the mushrooms. You know, I like to keep them a little on the thicker side just because they're gonna cook and then cook down a little bit. That way you still get some texture after the dish is done. So then we're gonna take our diced up bacon, we're gonna render that down until it gets nice and crispy. We'll take it out of the pan and then start putting together the rest of our green bean casserole.
Great.
All right, so after our mushrooms and our onions are cooked, we can transfer those to a bowl. Then we're gonna start our roux. So we're gonna take 3 tablespoons of butter, melt that down, and then we'll add in our 3 tablespoons of flour. So just melt all the butter. We're just using the same pan that we cooked all the bacon and the onions and the mushrooms in. Once that butter is melted, we're gonna go ahead and add in our flour. So roux is gonna be equal parts flour and fat, and our fat here is the butter, but the fat could be, you know, bacon grease, it could be olive oil. There we go. And then that's just gonna help thicken our sauce for our green bean casserole. And then next, after this, then we'll add in our heavy cream. 1 cup of heavy cream, 1 cup of broth. And then we wanna constantly whisk here until this thickens. The flour has a tendency to want to stick or settle at the bottom of the pan, so we just want to keep moving that around. And then we're going to add in our cheese after that. Just a white cheese, so you could use things like Parmesan, white cheddar, provolone, mozzarella. Those would all be really good choices for this.
We're just gonna mix everything together until it's well combined, and then we'll transfer it into the baking dish. So it's now in the baking dish, and the last step is to sprinkle on these fried onions.
All right, so we've got our whole turkey here. Now you can buy turkey already cut up from the grocery store into legs and thighs or breasts, but it's definitely more cost effective if you buy it whole like this. And then it just takes a little bit of knowledge about kind of where to cut the turkey to separate it into the different pieces. So with the turkey, we've got our legs, and basically there's two of everything. We got 2 legs, 2 breasts, 2 thighs, 2 wings. So I like to start with the legs. So right in between the skin, between the breast and the thigh, we'll just make little incisions just to help separate the legs and the thigh. And then we could just kind of pop open the turkey from here. Really good piece of meat on the back. So just using our thumb, we can kind of separate that right there. And then make an incision. And then really I just want to use my knife and just kind of follow along kind of the structure of the joints and then just slice just like that. And then I've got my leg and my thigh. And this is the same for all poultry. So chicken is going to be the same structure as our turkey. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side. So I make that incision there. And then I'm just going to go ahead and, again, open this up. And then with my thumb, with that oyster muscle right there, just separate that. And then I'll use my knife, kind of cut behind it, and then just follow with my knife all the way along. Once we've got our legs and our thighs separated, then we can go ahead and get the breast started. So right down the middle, we've got our keel bone, the middle of the turkey. So I want to cut just right next to it. And then from there, I use my knife tip just until I find the wishbone, and then run my knife right along the side. And again, I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So all the way down until I find that wishbone. And then just with the knife tip, just follow that muscle structure right along the turkey. And then with that, then I can just use my knife to separate the breasts from the carcass. And then we can separate the wing, again, right in between the joints. We'll just separate the wing from the breast. So you just kind of want to work your knife right in between the 2 joints. I can see them right there. There we go. And there's our tenderloin. And then we'll do the exact same thing on the other side. Then we'll just use our knife tip, separate the meat from the bone. Okay. So here's all of our pieces. We've got our breasts, our wings, and then we've got our legs and our thighs right here. And we can even separate the leg and the thigh. So we want to cut right where we see the muscle structure change. And we can just cut right in between the 2. And there's our leg. And then here's our thigh. And we can even take the bone out. All right, we're going to keep it super simple with the seasoning. So we want to do just a little bit of kosher salt or sea salt on our turkey. And then we'll do a little bit of black pepper. And we'll do this on both sides.
So simple.
Yeah, you could use other herbs too. You know, you can put in some like rosemary, sage would be really good.
Thyme,
garlic powder. Those are all going to be
it's a great opportunity to make it your own.
There we go. And then we're going to pop this in the oven. We want to cook it till an internal temperature of at least 165 degrees.
So for the stuffing that we're making today, we are again using a lot of whole ingredients. So we're gonna do some bread, mushrooms. We're using 2 different types of apples, garlic, and onion, but really make it your own. Get creative. Use what you might already have on hand or what your family enjoys when it comes to flavor profiles.
All right, now you could go ahead and buy your own breadcrumbs for the stuffing, or you could just use up some of the old bread that you have around. Maybe you save up the ends of the bread. Now with ours, we just went ahead, diced up the bread, tossed it with a little bit of olive oil, some herbs, garlic, salt, and pepper, toasted it in the oven until it's golden brown.
So now we have everything mixed together. We went ahead and added it to a baking dish. We are adding vegetable broth to the mixture. All right, so our turkey's in the oven, everything else is baking away. I think this is a great opportunity to check in with class before we get started on our vegetables.
All right, so we've got lots of variety of vegetables here. Potatoes, squashes, butternut squash, Brussels sprouts. Really, it could be whatever you like in it. So if you wanted to add in more mushrooms, leeks, all of those vegetables would work. So let's go ahead and get chopping. We want to cut everything similar in size so that it's going to roast about at the same rate.
Okay, great.
So I'd say, maybe an inch, inch and a half, kind of bite-sized pieces.
Like a cube?
Yeah, a cube.
Perfect. Okay, cool.
And then we're going to mix everything, just toss everything with some olive oil, garlic, some different herbs, thyme, sage, rosemary, some of those poultry seasonings.
Sure.
And then roast those in the oven.
Great. All right, let's go ahead and get started.
Just want to make sure that everything's nice and evenly coated.
Beautiful. Look at all those beautiful colors.
So just really want to make sure that we have a nice even layer of vegetables. That way everything cooks at a similar rate. All right, and then we're just going to go ahead and pop this in the oven.
All right, Tim, this looks absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and it wasn't too difficult to put together either. We took the turkey, we broke the turkey down into smaller pieces so that it would cook faster. So it really eliminates some of that time and that stress that goes into the holiday.
Oh, for sure. A majority of these dishes can also be made ahead of time. So keep in mind, you guys, whip these up the night before, put them in day of, and it saves a ton of time, definitely a ton of stress. And don't forget to tap into those family members and friends. If you are the one that's hosting for the holidays, have them bring dessert.
Yeah, absolutely.
And beverages and all the things. So you're not the one that's having to do it all, right?
All right.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and check in with class. I'm super excited to see what they're doing out over there.
Let's go.
I am thankful for my family. I'm thankful for Lord above. I'm thankful to have places like this for the community kitchen to give us resources and to be here for us in times of need.
I'm thankful that I can come here each month and get out of the house because I anticipate to have hard time getting to places, but that I can make a good healthy meal and I get to spend time with my daughter.
And I'm thankful for my mom and this class because it teaches me new recipes that I can try at home with my family.
Muchas gracias por este programa de la mesa comunitaria. Estoy muy agradecida con todos ustedes y feliz Día del Pavo.
Thank you for give us the opportunity to come to learn the class. We appreciate. Thank you very much.
All right, Kayla, this is my favorite part. We finally get to try the food.
Let's do it.
All right. I'm going to try this green bean casserole. This is one of my favorites.
Okay, I'm gonna go in with the cranberry sauce. One of my favorites. So good.
So this is a green bean casserole. I love the bacon, the smokiness that you get from it. It's really good.
Yeah, the cranberry sauce still has a little bit of that tartness, but you're definitely like tasting the cloves and the orange. And all of these are shining through. Such good flavor. Now I'm gonna go in for my other favorite, the stuffing.
Yeah, I'm going to grab some of these vegetables too.
The stuffing is so good. All of the different herbs and spices are shining
Absolutely.
through with this too.
Yeah, I really dig that. And all together too, you put a little bit of the cranberry sauce with the turkey.
I mean, you have to combine it all. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We're excited to have you try it. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Until next time.
Until next time.
Bye.